Hello students, today we are start the solution of 12th class and the topic is solid state. Now we are discussing the problem of the NCERT. Let's start from first problem, that is define the term amorphous and give examples. As we know that solids are of two types. First one is the crystalline solid and second one is amorphous solid. Now if we are discuss about amorphous solid, then if we are saying about solid, then no doubt solid is a compound or substance that having the compact structure of their constituent particle, and no doubt there is a strong force of attraction between the constituent particle. So if we are discussing about amorphous and crystalline solid, so no doubt in both type of solids, constituent particles having strong force of attraction. Now, what the basic difference between these two terms? If we are discussing about crystalline solid, then in the crystalline solid, the constituent particles like this are arranged in a perfect order. But if we are discussing about amorphous solid, then in amorphous solid, the crystalline or constituent particles are randomly arranged like this type. So when constituent particles are randomly arranged, this makes the solid amorphous. And when constituent particles are arranged in the perfect order, this is the crystalline solid. For example, all metals forming crystalline solid. And if we are discussing the example of glass although solid, but in the glass the constituent particles are randomly arranged. Similarly, rubber is also an example of amorphous solid. What makes a glass different from a solid? What what makes a glass different from a solid, such as quartz? Under what conditions? Could quartz be converted into glass? Quartz converted into glass. Now, quartz is a crystalline form of silica. Silica means SiO2. In SiO4 tetrahedron connected to one another in such a way that oxygen atom of each SiO4 tetrahedron is paired with another silicon atoms. So, we are discussing the structure of quartz. Then, makes the structure of this is like SiO4 tetrahedron unit. This is structure of its simplest unit. When it forms a 3D structure, then its oxygen atoms paired with another units and form these types of structure. So this is the structure of quartz, in which the particles or constituent units are arranged in a tetrahedral pattern or in a regular pattern. Now if quartz or SiO2 which melted, if we are melted of this and the melted material cooled rapidly, then it's converted into glass. It's amorphous. In glass, SiO4 tetrahedrons are randomly joined, so it is also called superpowed liquid. So if we are want to converting quartz into glass, so it can be done first by the heating of or melting of quartz. Now melted material that cooled rapidly, then it will be converted into amorphous glass, and by the applying of this condition, we can convert it quartz into glass or crystalline form into amorphous form. Now the third question. Classify each of the following solids as ionic, metallic, molecular, or network, or amorphous. The first one is P4O10. P4O10, it's a molecular solid. Why it is a molecular solid? Since we are discussing the solid P4O10, and the structure of P4O10, each P4O10 molecules joined by the another P4O10 molecules. So we can say that in this structure, the smallest constituent particles is the molecule of P4O10. So that's why it is called molecular solid. Now the second one is ammonium phosphate, that is NH4 whole thrice PO4. Now as you know that ammonium phosphate is an ionic compound, this gives the ammonium ion plus phosphate anion. This is the ammonium ion and the phosphate anion. In the ammonium phosphate, the constituent particles is ions. It's an ionic solid. Ammonium phosphate, it's an ionic solid. Since in this, the constituent particles is ions. Now third one is silicon carbide, SiC. Silicon carbide having diamond-like structure. So this form this type of structure, silicon carbon. Basically, it forms a giant molecule like a diamond, in which each silicon bonded with the carbon and with each carbon bonded with the silicon. Since both are present in the protein group, so both having 4 valency, in which silicon atom surrounded by the 4 carbon atom and each carbon atom surrounded by the silicon atom. This is structure of silicon carbide. In this structure, the smallest unit is the atom. The atom, it may be carbon or silicon. So no doubt it's a covalent network solid. Since in this structure, the atoms form covalent bond and it's a 3-dimensional network structure, means having horizontal and vertical both types of bond. Now the next one is I2. It's a molecular solid. Since in this structure, iodine is bonded with the iodine, so it's a small unit, again molecule or molecular solid. Next P4, it's again molecular solid. Since here is the also this types of phosphorus P4 molecule bonded with another P4 molecule. So here is the also a smallest unit, which molecule, it's also a molecular solid. Now next is plastic. It's an amorphous solid. Since in this, the constituent particles are randomly arranged like rubber and glass. That's why plastic is an amorphous solid. Next is a graphite. The 7th one is graphite. Graphite also form a covalent network structure. It forms a layer structure this type. Each layer carbon atom form covalent bond. So it's a covalent network structure or covalent network solid. Next is 8th one is brass. It's alloy. And in the alloy there is a mixture of 2 metals. So no doubt it's a metallic solid. Next is rubidium. 9th is rubidium. Rubidium is also a metal, so it's also a metallic solid. 10th one is LiBr, lithium bromide. It's ionic solid. It's contain Li plus Br negative ion, so it's an ionic solid. Next is silicon, Si. Silicon having covalent network structure in which each silicon atom bonded with the 4 silicon. So it's a covalent network structure.